In today's session, we'll be solving for quantity of paper. Quantity of paper. So if we refer to our previous videos, we've talked about pages to view, pages in a section, sections in a book, flats in a book, and then total number of sections. Okay, so the next one to deal with is what we have: quantity of paper. So to solve for your quantity of paper, you have to first solve for your press sheet size. So the press sheet size is the size that the machine that you are using to print can accommodate. So if you are solving for your press sheet size, which is your PSS, the size that your machine can accommodate, so any size that you use for your PSS should be within the size of the machine. And then here, the machine that we are using is SM74. Then it has a size of 20 inches by 29 inches. That means whatever we are doing shouldn't exceed this 20 by 29 inches. So in solving for your PSS, we have two ways of solving for your PSS. So I'll start with the first one and then end with the other, and then we continue from there. Alright, so in calculating for our PSS, we first come to our pages to view. So you've solved for your pages to view, just make reference to that place. So when we solve for pages to view, we made it machine size over finished size, and then we had 20 inches by 29 inches divided by 8¼ by 11¾ inches. So when doing our cancellation, we used the 11¾ to cancel the 29, and then we used the 8¼ to cancel the 20. When we did that, we had 2 for both, so that means each of them is giving us 2 out. So this is what we are coming to do. We are coming to use the number of times that they went into each other, multiply. So we take these 2, multiply it by 8¼ we take these 2, we multiply it by 11¾ then we have, so 8 to 16, 2 times half, quarter gives me half, so 16½ by 20, so this one will give me 23½. So this will be my PSS without margins. So I have to add margins to it so that when I trim this, I get the finished size that I've been asked to print. So I can add 1 inch to the shorter side and then ½ inch to the longer side, and then I'll get my PSS to be 17½ inches by 24. So that will be my PSS. So this is one of the methods that you can use to solve for your PSS. Another way of solving for your PSS is knowing the pages to view. So in Now calculation, we had 4 pages to view. 4 pages to view. We had 4 pages to view. So our finish size is A4, and that means we can view A4 4 times. When it's mounted, we can see it 4 times. Do you get it? Then the sides read 8 1/4, 8 1/4, 11 3/4, 11 3/4 inches, 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 inches. Do you get it? So this side is 8 1/4, this side is 8 1/4, 11 3/4. So here I just summed. I bring a bigger bracket 8 1/4 plus 8 1/4 by 11 3/4 plus 11 3/4. Then I get 16 1/2 by 23 1/2 inches. Or I can multiply 2 by 8 1/4 and then multiply 2 by 11 3/4. So I get 16 1/2 by 23 1/2. So you add your margins and then you get 17 1/2 by 24 1/2. Alright, so this is how you solve for your PSS. So when you are done solving for your PSS, that means your PSS in a way is equal to your pages to view. Do you get it? Okay, so it's just this, and then you've added some margins to it just to increase the size, so that when you trim it, you get the finished size. Alright, so when you are done solving for your PSS, you move on to the number of outs. So you want to know the this is your PSS, right? And that's what you'll be feeding into the machine. So let's say if this is your machine, right? This is your PSS, which contains your 4 pages to view with margins. So you are coming to feed this into the machine. So you have to go to the market to get a stock size which is way bigger than this PSS. So you come and then you want to know the number of PSS that you can get out of this stock size, which comes with a size 30 inches by 40 inches. Do you get it? So you want to know the number of PSS that you can get from it. It may be 8, it may be 10, it may be 1, it may be 2. So you have to come and then solve for it. So for you to know your number of outs, what you need to do is you have to divide your stock size, right, by your PSS. So your PSS is 17 1/2 inch by 24 inches, and then your stock size is 30 inches by 40 inches. So 24 into the 31, and then this place 2 times. So 2 times 1 gives me 2 outs. Do you get it? So 2 outs of the PSS. So when I take this 30 by 40, I'm going to get 2 of the PSS out of the 30 by 40. So when I take this 30 by 40, I'm going to get 2 of the PSS. So PSS 1, PSS 2. Do we get it? And then we should take note that every PSS has 4 pages to view, right? And then 8 pages in a section. Do we get it? So we should bear in mind that. So that means when I take this, I have 2 sections. So we all agree that the PSS is the same as our sections. So now we will have to go back and then look for the total number of sections that we had. So we have to go and then look for the total number of sections that we had. So in this, it was saying that our total number of sections was 8,000, right? 8,000 sections. 8,000 sections. That's our total number of sections. So if we are saying the total number of sections is 8,000, then this same section, we agree that it's the same as our PSS. As a result, if one stock size, I'm getting 2 out of my PSS, right? How many sections do we have in all? 8,000. So 8,000 sections. Then we divide the 8,000 sections by 2 to get 4,000 sheets of 30 by 40. Are we okay? So if you get this, that means you're on track. Then you may be asked to leave your answer in reams, right? You may be asked to leave your answer in reams. So if you are asked to leave your answer in reams, you have to take note that all sheets, a ream of paper has one ream. One ream has 500 sheets, right? So we divide this 4,000 by 500. This takes this out. Now we have 40 over 5, right? And then we have 8 reams. So that means when we take our book, we need 8 reams of 30 by 40. 8 reams of 30 by 40. So that's all for